Oh, there we go. I think it's good now. I hope everybody can hear me. The little thingy majigger is going up and down on the voice meter, so that means that I'm here. Whew, okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another lovely Tuesday evening here with Ryan from Mista Rau Gaming. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be a really good one here. It looks like I already got a few people popping in the chat. I believe we've got Chris from the Tabletop Express here saying, looking forward to joining tonight. Such a delightful game. Thank you, Chris. And we hear ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's most importantly here. And we also got Sarah M in the chat here. She's saying, looking forward to seeing how this plays. Big fan of Voyages in Aquamarine. And you know what? You're not alone here, as we also got a few people that are fans of Voyages in Aquamarine, myself included. Aquamarine was actually my first foray into the Postmark games foray of games, and I loved that. I actually even did a playthrough and review for them last time that they were up on Kickstarter there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Backed it immediately, got all the map packs. They're all lovely, way to go. And this is going to be no different. We're going to be taking a look at Waypoints tonight, which just launched on Kickstarter this morning, and boy oh boy, it is a resounding success once again. Postmark Games, what you're doing with these things is really lovely for the hobby. I thoroughly enjoy the a Kickstarter that's not hurting my wallet here for $5 American, which is about $7 Canadian nowadays and everything like that. And you get a lot of game and a little bit of a you get a lot of game with a lot of punch for that price, and it's also not taking up a whole bunch of room up on my shelf over back here, which is what I really also enjoy. Yep, Instaback Games should be their name at this point, is what Chris from the Tabletop Express is saying. And do you know what? Absolutely. How many people I saw in the comments section of that Kickstarter already were saying, I just saw Postmark Games' name and I don't even know anything about this and I've already backed it, which is saying something about the design pedigree from Rory Muldoon and Mathew Dunstan, what they are doing for this, with their company with these print and play style games is absolutely fantastic. Wish them the best of luck here with this one. This one's going to be another resounding success. And welcome, Alex. Meeple and the Moose is here. He says, are you allowed to say you like small games when Galactus is staring down over you? He's back here. I don't know. I'm afraid to move the camera and whatnot and everything. But yes, big old, my Marvel Zombies Galactus. I'm an Omni gamer. What can I say? I backed the big Simon Kickstarter. You see, I got like Rising Sun and Blood Rage back here, and Ankh is down here. Descent is back there. But I can have the small print and plays too. They're not taking up room on my shelves. That's an easy addition to my collection here. So, yes, I'll be taking a look at Waypoints. They ever so graciously sent me the files for map number 1 and the rule set for it. So I'll be playing with that one. It already looks like they already have a second map up on the Kickstarter page there. I'm not quite sure exactly if it's what's new that they're introducing into the gameplay with that map number 2. Usually there are different maps introduce a small little extra something to the gameplay here, but I'll be showing off the gameplay with map number 1. And since they are digital files, what you can you print and play them. Like I have my sheet right here. I printed it off and laminated it so that I only had to print it off once, and I can use a dry erase marker and mark it up, erase it, mark it up, dry erase it. That's what I really like that. I printed off a few of those, and then of course you just need some dice, which, you know, as a board gamer, I have a few of these lying around somewhere. I've got dice up the wazoo, it seems, most of the time, I'd say. Hands up in the chat. Who else actually owns a laminator? If you're in the board gaming hobby, you need a laminator. I'm just saying that right now. How many people? Come on. I should figure out how to do you know what? Every now and then I got a summer coming up ahead of me. I'm gonna figure out how to do I'm gonna have to figure out how to do some polls up in my chat here, because I'm still quite new to this streaming gameplay business and everything. Tabletop Express is saying required and everything. I don't own one, but I think I need one. If you're playing lots of roll and write, flip and write, X and write style of games, or games that have the big score pads and everything like that, save yourself. Get yourself a little laminator. Laminate those sheets. Get a dry erase marker. Bada bing, bada boom. You never have to worry about running out of. Hands up in the chat if you've ever actually ran out of the little pads of paper that come inside of games. Anybody? That requires me playing a game multiple times in order to run out of those little pads of paper. But at this point, my Turing machine, I went through quite a few of those pads, quite through that pad before I actually finally laminated the pieces of paper. But okay, well, that's a very exhilarating talk about laminators. Make sure. I should try to find a link in Amazon or something like that. Find a good little cheap one. Post a link in the description below here. Laminators, they are so handy here. The closest I've come to running out of papers in Seven Wonders Duel. Yes, well, yeah, that's fair too. That one quakes. But the BGG is the BG Stats have the scoring apps. I think, is there one for Seven Wonders Duel? I want to say that there is. But BG Stats now, the app, has started including scoring pads and scoring apps, or score pads for multiple of the games that you can find on BGG. Okay. Well, but Chris is saying not sure, but there is one for Waypoints, which is fair. I should actually, and I don't have access to it because right here, that's this camera that's up here, that's my phone. That's where BG Stats is. That's besides the point. I'm going to switch my screen on over here because we are here to talk a little bit more about waypoints, and let's talk about waypoints. Now, you may see here that, wow, that screen right there, that is actually not that laminated piece of paper that Ryan held up a little bit. No, because the files are digital. You can import them into a digital drawing app, and you can just, and that's why I can say, hopefully it's coming across a lot cleaner by me grabbing a screen capture here. And I think that I should actually just be able just to do this, and I can just draw some lines from one point to another point to another point to another point, and it's coming up relatively clear on the screen. So that is a roaring success. Thanks, Chris. It looks as it's looking clean to me. I did want to just use my iPad, but I realized I don't have my stylus, and it's very clunky to it's very clunky to use my finger on the iPad and everything. So I just imported the map into a little program that I use quite frequently called Pixlr, Pixlr, and it is just it's a free online kind of like a Photoshop like thing. If you see all of my thumbnail graphics, I use Pixlr to create all the graphics on there. And welcome to the chat here. He says super crisp, perfect. I like that. And I realized that I should probably put this just down underneath the chat there. There we go. Now the chat can actually come above the screen here. Oh, right. We're doing a little bit. Do you own a laminator? Do you own a laminator? We're keeping track. We're keeping stats. Alex is going to be in charge of keeping the stats here of how many people actually own a laminator in the chat tonight. So we'll go with that. And fist bumps. Here we go. Exactly. Okay. So we've got waypoints here, which we are going to be taking a trek around this kind of like, I don't know, wildlife park-ish area. We got hills. We've got kind of like large hills, mountain tops. We got a bunch of wildlife. We've got some we got like bird wildlife. We've got kind of like rabbit wildlife. We've got bird wildlife. Bear wildlife. We've got some interesting points along the ways, and we've also got these places that are our campsites. And way we're going to do, what does this say? Personally, no, but I've got access to one. Well, access to one is, yeah. Chop that down as the kinda, yeah. But the most important question though is have you actually laminated pieces of papers of your board game? If you didn't have access, you would own one. Got it. Perfect. So essentially in Waypoints here, what we're going to be doing is we have our die here, of course, because these games are all rolling right in something. When we roll our die, it's going to kind of give laminated rule books. and the die is going to determine where we're going to be going on this. I'm just going to kind of go here up on this track way up here, up at the top of the screen, and that's going to determine how many movement points we have. And now movement points, like let's just say at the first thing here, I'm going to circle this cloud area. It's going to give me, ooh, that didn't come out clear. I should have practiced my clicking here. This one's going to provide me with 3 movement points. And essentially, movement points means how many line segments I am allowed to cross in order to get from one waypoint, which are these orange circles on the page, to another waypoint. So that's how many I can use. So in this case, I could use 3. If I want to go more than 3 movement points, I actually have to spend water, which is down here in the bottom right in the corner here. I can just cross off a water, and I can move an extra. I can move through an extra line segment. Now, if I find myself in a troublesome situation and I kind of, really can't move anywhere, and I gotta, maybe use some extra water, I don't have a lot of movement and everything, I can always take a rest action, which means I'm not going to move that particular turn. Rather, I am just going to just get an extra water as a part of a rest. Now, there's other ways to get water. If I ever have a line segment, let's just say if I'm going from this bird and I'm going to come over to that bear, if I cross through this lake region, whoops, that kind of went off wonky. If I kind of go through this bird and I want to go to this bear and I go through the water segment, I would actually get another water. And you can kind of see here, there's actually some green spaces here, like this green space down here. If I ever cross through a green space like I do with water, I could actually scout one of my animals, which if you ever visit the animal spaces, you just get the, cross off, circle. You get the circle, the lowest number, and that's going to be how many points you get. And there's also some icons over here like canoes, raincoats, and these gliders that give us a little bit of an extra bonus during our turn. If I ever have access to a kayak, I can use the river, this White Peak River. I can take my line segment and I can go along the river segment here until I decide I want to get out of the river, and then I can continue on my way. Raincoats are particularly useful, especially if you come across some of these spots where there's only 2 or 1 movement point. Raincoats, if you spend them, give you an extra 3 movement points for that particular turn. And the glider is if you ever find yourself at the top of one of these mountain spaces, like right here, this little triangle here, if you ever find yourself at one of these mountain spaces, you can spend your glider to glide to another waypoint, either in the same square or in a orthogonally adjacent square. So like from here, I could actually go straight over down to this compass waypoint, and that would just be using my glider. And it doesn't matter how many line segments I actually go through, I would just end up at that point if I had access to a glider. And welcome Norm from the Core Board Conjecture podcast. He is in the house. How's it going? Alex is keeping track on stats. Norm, and I know that. Do you own a laminator? That random question. Very random question of the day. Do you own a laminator? And he does. Yes, Norm does seem like the kind of person that would own his own laminator, and he has confirmed it. Yes, he owns his own laminator and has most likely laminated things for board games and other various projects. Oh, okay. Talk him down. He's over exerting himself. He's got 2 laminators. That's just crazy. That's just crazy talk. Okay, now here we go. He's making up for Ez lacking one. Oh, yes. Congratulations, Norm, who is retiring at the end of this school year, taught his last class. Oh my gosh, that must be a great feeling. We just have to get through the couple of exams and then boom, summer and permanent summer for Norm. Happy retirement indeed, my buddy. Let's continue on with waypoints here. Speaking of these mountaintops where we got to the top of for using those gliders, notice that some of these mountains, they all have different numbers. Like this mountaintop here has the 500, but the 5 is underlined because if I visit that waypoint, I would actually be able to write down a number 5 here. Oh gosh, this is going to be fun. I can put a 5 here and that's going to score me 5 points at the end of the game. And you notice that there's a ×2 and a ×3 slot that if I ever visit a mountain on that one, I get to multiply the number by 2. I get to multiply the number by 3 type thing. So, okay. Now, there are some other special waypoints along the path here. There are these binoculars. There's these binocular spaces, which will allow me to cross off one of these cameras. And what a camera does is once I visit that waypoint, I can take a picture of a different waypoint orthogonally or in the same region. So I could say I could take a picture of this mountain. I would not be able to visit this mountain anymore, but at least I would actually be able to get the points for that mountain then. And I'm just not going to I'm not going to be visiting it, but I get to take a picture. I'm not actually going to be able to ever visit it. Or I can visit anything else. I could take a picture of those bears that are next to there, or the birds or something like that. If you ever visit one of these compass spots on the map, you get to unlock a backpack, and a backpack is kind of like your wild thing. It can be used as any place of any one of these 3 icons that I explained earlier. It can be a backpack, can either be used as a kayak, a wetsuit, or a glider. So yeah, so and then there's these other special ones that are in the deep corners of our map here, these ones with the triangles with the dots in them, and those ones are just straight up worth points for us at the end of the game. Start off with 5 for the first one, 11, then 18. And if you get to all of them, it's 35 points at the end of the game, which is no small feat. Let me just catch up let me get caught up with the chat here. Good to see, thanks Norm. Good to see you back in the chair. Absolutely. It feels good. I'm feeling good once again. Being able to do these things. It's a little bittersweet. And Ian's in the chat. Welcome, Ian. And he is saying, is that a writing pad? I'm actually screen capturing. My, whoops. What did I do there? I'm actually screen capturing my, the playing service just in a different app right now, just so that it can come across a little bit clearer. The program that I'm using is called Pixlr, Pixlr. I'll put a link in the description of this video afterwards. So I just imported the PDF, and now we're now we're here. So, what am I do? What happened here? I'm gonna do that. Gonna come back here. Gonna come back to this thing. Okay. Now, but it is in the game. the writing pad. Well, this is the game sheet. This is the game, Ian. I'm talking about the Waypoints Kickstarter here today, which is a print and play. So you buy access, you pay the $5, you gain access to the files. After the campaign is done, they'll send you out the link to all the files. You can print the game on a piece of paper that I have got laminated, or since they are digital files, I just uploaded it into a digital thing for this thing. I'll load these up onto my iPad, and I'll be able to play off of my iPad later if I ever find my stylus. Okay, so what we are actually going to be able to do, and so in this case, this game is going to take place over the course of 4 days or 4 rounds. They are tracked on the 4 borders along the edge of the map here. And what we're going to actually, first off, we're going to do is we are going to pick our end of game goal, which is this little area right down here. Right down here is a end of game goal area. And what they can actually do is, what they suggested you could do, is you could just take a pen and you can spin it on your paper, and it can be, depending which corner that it's facing, there's an A, a B, a C, and a D in the 4 corners of the gamepad, and I'll select you the thing. Maybe I will just, you know what? Chat A, B, C, or D. What should we go for? Again, I wish I knew how to do polls. In this one. Norm beat everybody to the punch. Oh, we got a B, we got an A, a BA. Anybody else want to chime in? Again, I wish I knew how to do... Wait, here we go. What is this thing? Engage with my audience. Start a poll. Ask a question. There we go. Which option? And we can go A, B, C, or D, and then ask my community. There we go. Look what I figured out how to do. He's going with Norm's saying I'm going with A because it's Canadian. A, he's here all night, folks. He's here all night. Let's take a look at what our polls are. Oh, you guys are not making this easy. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna close this down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna end it off now. And it sure looks like that it was option A. Option A is going to be our goal for the game here, which is saying that we will get, oh boy, I did it again. Option A here says we will get 2 points for every piece lake of water that we cross through, and we'll get an additional 10 points if we manage to cross through all of the lakes of water, and they are spread out across the entire region. So, and water is good for us to cross through anyway, so they get us little cans of water that allows us to travel farther. Alrighty, well, I would say let's pitter patter, let's get at her. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick our campsite that we're going to start off with. There are 6 campsites out there. Tabletop Express. Will you be playing the official solo mode, showcasing the multiplayer one? It is a tiny difference. True. The true solo mode. Says that by the end, across the 4 rounds, I have to end 3 of my 4 rounds. I have to end back at a campsite. Ending at a campsite in regular playing games allows you to double your points at the end of a day, which there's some points that we can gather at the end of the day here that you always score. But if you visit a campsite, you get to double your score. But the solo mode challenge is that you have to visit at least 3 campsites by the end of 4 rounds. So there's 1 round that you don't have to. Hard mode would be that you have to visit a campsite at the end of every round. So you have to really pay attention to your movement points. So thank you, Chris. I'm gonna try the solo mode here. So I'm gonna try to get to a campsite at the end of 3 of the 4 rounds. So let's go. Let's see where my starting one is. So I'm gonna go through here, and I'm gonna start at campsite number 4, which is right here. So there's where campsite number 4 is. That's where I am going to start. All right. So now that I've outlined where I'm going to be starting on the map, I'm going to roll for my weather, and it's a 4. So I'm going to count starting at the number 1 here up at the very top. I'm going to count 4 spaces in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is a snowy day, so it means I only get one. I only get 1 movement point. That is not the best start for this particular game. Well, I'm probably going to end up having to spend a water, but one thing that I am going to end up doing is I am just going to go, because I have to cross a line segment already right off the bat here. So I think I'm going to cross 1. Ooh, boy. Where should I go? 1, 2. I'm actually going to go up, and I'm going to go up and visit that bear up at the very top here. So I know I'm going to have to go 1 movement point, 2 movement points, and I'm going to end up off that bear. So since I used 2 movement points, I'm going to actually have to spend one of my waters for this one. Hey, Brian, welcome to the chat here. He is saying, hey, yo, and it's the best $5 game of the year, 3 years running. Absolutely. What Postmark Games is doing here is absolutely fantastic. Aquamarine was a lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so I visited a bear, which means I need to then circle that I was going to score 1 point on my bear track at the end of the game now. Now I'm there. I'm going to roll my weather dice. A 1, so I get to go to the next spot, which means I'm going to get 2 movement points this time around. Okay, so which way am I going? I need 2 movement points to get off of this little cliff. Interesting. Where should I go? Wow. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Let's see here. Getting off of that mountain. And I only have 1 water. Where can I go? 1, 2, 3. Oh boy, I don't really know if I can go. Can I really go anywhere? Chat, if you're looking at this with me, Dana Hayward is in the chat here. Maybe the rabbit, which the rabbit to the right near the 600 mountain. I could maybe get there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 movement points to get to that one. Because I am currently at the bear. That's where I moved from the campsite. I moved up to the bear. So I'm currently at the bear. And I have 2, maximum 3 movement points because of my water. Now what I could do here is from the bears, I could actually probably just rest. Well, what's Brian saying here? Wow, I made my best claim without even trying waypoints yet, and that I'm that confident and irresponsible with my board game takes. Oh, Chris is playing along here, so he obviously made a better choice than I am. So I'm actually just going to rest and just grab a water, just because I don't know if I can really do anything right now. 6. Oh my goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speeds up the game round. Get 4 movement points. I got to really pay attention to, because if I roll another high, if I roll a 5 or a 6 again, the round is going to end. So maybe this time around, I am just going to travel 1, 2, 3. Whoa, boy. I keep forgetting that if I touch my mouse ever so slightly, it kind of takes off the thing. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 4, 5 gets me to that. Gets me to another bear. Or I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get over to that rabbit. That gets me close to another campsite. I think I'm going to have to do, I'm going to try to do that. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 lines, 4 lines, which is in, and then 5 lines gets me to the rabbit. I have to use one of my waters. And I'm visiting a rabbit. Alrighty. Okay, and then I roll the weather die, and it's a 2. 1, 2 gets me 1 single movement point. Oh, I kind of want to just go and this is one of the reasons I like the game so much. At multiplayer in particular, the different goals at the top completely change the way you choose to move. Exactly. So now I've got 1 movement point. I could go to the top of that mountain, but then I'm going to be really hooped. Because I'm most likely just going to get 2 movement points at the next one. Very, very good chance. So I'm at the top of the mountain. I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy, I wouldn't be able to get to that. Oh my gosh. I'm not very good at this game, obviously. I'm going to rest. Oh my gosh, I'm not very good at this. 2. Oh, we are going to get an extra turn. 1, 2 gets us 3 movement points. Okay. Okay. So then I know for sure then I can go this way then. I am going to come up to this mountain. I know it's wasted, but I am going to score 6 on the mountain. And then roll 1. So this is going to be the last round of the day. So need 2 movement points. And I'm going to go 1, 2 across the bridge. Whoa, boy. What is going on here? Across the bridge, 3, 4, and ending up at that campsite. My gosh. I apologize. This is very finicky. I should have done something differently tonight. So used my 2 waters to get to that campsite, and that is the end of the very first day. So at the end of the very first day, now I have to choose a journal entry, which is down here. I have to choose one of these 4 journal entries in order to score them. And since I'm ending at a campsite, I get to double my score. So I can score 1 point for every different waypoint. Wow, you're on the completely different side of the map than me, Chris. I can score 1 point for every different waypoint that I visited. So right now I visited a bear, a rabbit, and a mountain, which would be 3 points. Times 2 is 6. If I visited multiple of the same, I could score 2 points for every one that was the same. I could score 3 points for every pair of, or I could, for every different square that I visited this round, which would only have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'm going to have to score the very first one. I'll score the very first one. And since I did get to a campsite, I visited 1, 2, 3 different waypoints times 2 is going to give me 6 points for that very first one. And I put a X at campsite number 2, and that's where I'm going to have to start my journey for day number 2. And now we do this now for the so now we do this for 3 more days. And so now I'm going to work my way down the right hand side of the map here. I'm going to roll the weather die. And I rolled a 3, so we're going to count 1, 2, 3 here. So we're going to get 2 movement points to start off the next day. Which, my gosh, I might just come over. I just might come straight across. One. Oh, right. And at the end of every day, I forgot, it even says here, at the end of every day, you get 2 fresh waters. So you get 2 waters to start the next day. I almost forgot that. Okay, so now with my 2 movement points, I can go up to the top. Maybe the bird to the right. Going through the water. Oh, ho, 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 I see ya. Thank you, Dana. That sounds like a very lovely plan. 1, 2, cross through the water and end at the bird. Which gets me a water. Which does get me a water. And I get me a bird point. Thank you. That sounds like a great plan. Roll the weather die. A 1. Which gets us 1 movement point. 1 lonely old movement point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yikes, that would use up all my water to get over to that mountain. Or 1, 2, 3, 4 to get over to that other bird. Or that's kind of tricky. Or kind of like, like a 1, 2, 3, 4 to come over across to this bird way over on the far left. Or a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe I'm going to come over to that bird over on the far left here. So let's see if this works. 1, 2. My line. 1, 2. Come across 3, 4. There we go. So I got my 1 movement point. 1, 2, 3, 4 for my water. Got me to another bird. So now if I get to the top of a mountain, I can use a glider. Killed my water with that roll. Ha! 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 3 movement points this round. This turn. Which might actually help me here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can go to the top of that mountain at 500. So I can go 1, 2, 3 and end on the mountain. That's a 500. So I'm going to put a 5 down here. And I can use my glider now, since I'm at the top of the mountain, to go and do a straight line movement to anything on an orthogonal in the same waypoint. So I can go visit a rabbit, a bear, or I can come down and get that compass. That actually might pay. That actually might be worth it. So I'm going to use my glider down here, and I'm going to go straight from the glide from the mountaintop down to the compass point. And so that unlocks me a backpack. And that backpack can be used as either a kayak, a wetsuit, or as a glider. Yeah, the compasses are really good to get to. The compasses are really good to get to. Those wilds, very fun to do. Okay, so let's take a look here. So that was the end of that. For me, that was the end of that weather. Oh, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, at least we get 5 movement points this time around, but it really did extend the day. 5 movement points. Imagine the places that we can go. Imagine the places we can go. Okay, with that backpack, we do have options. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get to those binoculars. Whoa, boy. I keep forgetting. Don't touch it. Don't touch the mouse. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get to the binoculars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can get down to that very... You know what? Actually, getting to those binoculars might not be so bad because then it's not too terrible to get down off that ridge. 1, 2... Oh, no, but then it's 3 movement points to the campsite. Make sure they hit the water source on the way. Yep. Yep, that's the play. That's the play. So I'm going to come out across here. 1, cross to the water. 2, 3, 4 points to get to the binoculars. Get myself the water. And we get ourselves some binoculars, which means we get to instantly snap a picture of something. Orthogonally, or in the same region, I could take a picture of that trigger point. That one. Or I could take a picture of this bear way over there, or I can take a picture of that bird way over here. That could also be a thing because I might not want to be so things, but 5 points is 5 points. And I'm pretty sure Mr. Chris over at the Tabletop Express, he's plotting something. So let's go with, I'll take a picture of that trigger point for 5 points at the end. No. Okay, I think I am done with that. So I'll roll the dice. We get a 2, which ends our day. We get 2 movement points. So I'm gonna have to get to that campsite there, which I'm gonna have to go 1, 2, 3, and burn that water. And I end at my campsite. Oh boy. Okay. Now I got to take a look at my end of day journal here. My end of day journal. Because did I visit 2 of the same things? Starting at the campsite here, I did visit 2 birds, a mountain, a compass, and a thing. So, How many different squares did I travel though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I traveled 6 different. That would give me 3 points for that one. For that one, that give me 3 points. Times 2 is 6. I think that might be my best one. I'll try this one. And I will get 6 points for that one because I went 6 squares divided by 2 and then times 2. So I feel like I'm not doing extremely well, but let's keep on chugging. Get 2 water at the end of the day. 1 and 2 water at the end of the day. And let's start day number 3. Yeah, it's very neat to see how. So what Chris here is saying that he has ended up on campsite at number 5. Where's campsite number 5? So he ended day 1 at campsite 6, and then he trekked his way over to campsite number 5. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's really neat to see that. Love Voyages and Aquarians, so this is an insta-back. Absolutely. I think Chris made the mention that I think this company should be called Instaback instead of Postmark. Okay, so I got my fresh 2 water. So now we are starting day number 3 down here. So let's see what our weather is going to tell us. We're going to go 3 move. 1, 2, 3 here. So we get 3 movement points. Okay, now which way am I going? Oh, binoculars again. I could get some more binoculars. Or 1, 2, cross through some water. 3 gets me to that bear. Crossing through the water is kind of important. 1, 2, cross through the water. 3, 4 also gets me to the bird. You know what? That might actually be the play here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, cross through the water. 3, 4. So I had to use one of my waters. But I got a water for crossing through the water. And I visited another bird. So I get some bird points here. Okay. Maybe that... Is that the best play? Not quite sure, but hey, we're working our way. Okay, weather die I rolled a 2, so we're going to come on over here. It's going to be a rainy day, so we get 2 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me to a bear. Or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets me back to those binoculars. And I go through the forest region as well. No, my goal is go through water. Water is getting us some bonus points at the end of the game. So I think I'm going to try to do the water thing. I'm going to cross off my backpack here. I'm going to use it as a raincoat. And my raincoat gives me 3 extra movement points this turn because it is a turn that has 2 movements. So I get 5 movement points here. So I'll give that one. So I'm going to go, I'm actually going to go this way. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, come up through the water, 5, and end at the bear, which gets me a kayak. So now I can use the river. Okay, perfect. Yeah, enjoying how we're both considering some of the same locations on different parts of the map. Exactly. This is really so much fun. Okay. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to mark an X at the campsite number 1. That's where I ended my one. Okay, weather die. That's a 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get 4 movement points this turn. 4 movement points. Well, I could really, because I could use that kayak and really kind of start traversing different places here. 4 movements, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me to a compass spot. That could be lovely. Or I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 and get to a rabbit. Or I can just go something completely different here. I can go something completely different, go down the river. Now, when you use the kayak to do the river action, you actually get to go through, so you get to just travel along the river, and you get to go through 3 grid intersections for free going through the river. And then wherever you come out, then you resume your normal your normal movements. So I'm just kind of taking a look at where I'm spotted at the river currently. Because maybe if I come out here, come down the river, pop on out over here. Okay, wait. Maybe I might have saw something here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. I got it. I got something. I got something mapped out. So I'm going to use my kayak this turn. I'm going to do the bear here. So I'm going to go 1, enter the river, and I'm going to travel the river. 1 free movement. 2. I'm going to pop out here. So I've used 1 movement point. 2, 3, 4. And I ended at the binoculars. And I crossed through some water to get me a watering can. I crossed through some woodlands. So I get to cross off the next thing on my track here, which, you know what? I think I'm going to grab another bird point. And I grab some binoculars, and I will take a picture of something. And you know what? I'm going to take a picture of these mountains over here. Take a picture of those mountains over there for 9 points at the end of the game. Okay, I think that's... And I think we're doable to get over to that campsite number 5 by the end of this round. I think it's absolutely doable here. Let's just roll some low numbers here. Well, that's not a low number. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get 3 movement points this turn. Oh gosh, and that's on the other side of the river. Dang. Oh, wait, because I can go across the bottom here. 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 points gets me to the campsite right now. So maybe I just go to that rabbit. Or go to the bird. Oh, or go to the bird, because that birds, and that gets me another glider. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 movement points. I do have some water to spend. That sounds like not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the bird. Spend a water. And I get me another glider. Like that. And then this will most likely end our day. Yep, it'll end our day at 3, so we get 2 movement points at the end of the day. And I'm going to have to go 1, 2 across the bridge, 3 to end up at my campsite. Spend some water. Whew. Wow. Okay, we trekked some ground there. Let's see what... Did I visit multiple of the same things? I visited 1 bird. I visited 2 birds. That'd get me 2 points. And I visited... one. Yeah, I get 2 points doubled, which is going to give me 4 points there. Ooh, I feel like I'm not doing very well. See, Dana's coming around here. Dana's saying, I think I'm going to have a blast playing this game. There's so much freedom when exploring the map. There really is. There really is. And hey, Dan, DNix7 is in the house. Welcome, Dan. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so whoa boy, there we go again. I'm clicking things that I'm not supposed to be clicking. I ended off there. Scored my 4 points. And okay, we get 2 waters at the end of the day. I'll do that. 2 waters at the end of the day. And I have reached my goal in a solo game. I've reached at least 3 campsites at the end of my thing. So now my last round here, I don't have to end at a campsite. I can, if I want to maybe double my points, if I visit things that are if I visit pairs of different things this time around. So I would want to end at a campsite, but I don't have to end at a campsite this time around because, yeah, I got a little bit more freedom. So let's see. Let's roll our weather dice. And number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 3 movement points this turn. So where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where have we been? Now one thing that hasn't come up yet is that you can double back over top of your line. It does not cost a movement point. So I could double back across this bridge again. It would cost me 1, 2 points to get to that bear. It cost me 2 movement points to get to that bear, but we got 3 movement points. So I can go 1, 2. Maybe I am just going to go to that bear. 1, 2. 4 points to that rabbit. Nope, I think I'm going to go to the bear. Am I going to be able to get to those other 3 lakes this round? Nope. Whoops. Oh my gosh. I did it again. Okay, I'm not using this program because it's very sensitive. Very sensitive on my clicks. Okay, I'm just going to go visit that bear. So it's going to cost me 1 movement point. Cross the bridge, 2 movement points. And I'll visit the bear. Circle it. Done my turn. Okay, we got a 1. 1 is the loneliest number, but it's going to give us 3 movement points this turn around. Well, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4 points to get to the top of that mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4 points to the top of the mountain. That gets me the 10. That gets me a 10-point mountain. Wouldn't that have been nice to get on my doubler? And I can glide. I can glide somewhere. I can glide to. Where do I want to glide to? I can glide since I'm in this region here. I could glide to that bear. Therefore, I would have a pair of bears for this round. That would actually be really handy. I could glide over to those binoculars. That actually would be handy. Actually, why not? Why don't we do that then? Because if I glide over, oh my gosh. Glide. I do want to kind of hit that water down there though, but I doubt I'm going to be able to get all of the waters. So I'm going to glide over to the... Dang it. Nope, I'm going to glide straight over to the binoculars. Oh my God, there it goes again. So I used my glider. I ended off at some binoculars, which means I get to take a picture of something, and I'm going to take a picture of... I am going to take a picture of some... I'm going to take a picture of these birds over here. because those are going to get me 12 points at the end of the game. I like that. Come on. 12 points at the end of the game. Kind of like that. Okay, enough done that. 2. So 1, 2. We get one single movement point to this turn. One single movement point doesn't get me to much other than I can go to those. I can get to these rabbits that I really didn't see. 1, and I end up at the rabbits, which will get me a raincoat at least. Whoops. That wasn't a very good circle. Okay, so I have a raincoat to use. Okay, weather dice. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get rainy 2 movement points. Oh, and I do have a raincoat if I do want to use it, which I think I might. Why not? Because having 5 movement points is a lot better. And I can go 1 straight through there. 2, 3 straight through there. 4. Five. Go to these rabbits. So I get the 4 points for the rabbits. I went through some water, so I get a can of water. And I also went through a forest region, which it gets me a bump up on some tracks here, which let's just keep bumping up our bird track here. We're getting some good points off of the birds there. Okay. All right. 2. Oh, game's not quite over yet. We still get 4 movement points. That might help us here. I can get to another one of these triangular spaces. I could also maybe get to that. Can I get to that? What I got? 4, 1. Come up here over the bridge. 2, 3, 4. I can get to the top of that 8 mountain. That sounds beautiful, because then I could double 8 to get 16. So here we go. 1, coming across here, go across the bridge. 2, 3, 4, and to the top of the 8 mountain, which is going to get me 8 times 2 is 16 points. I think I like that. That was worth it. Was that worth it? It must have been worth it. Pretty sure I'm not getting to a campsite this time around, so let's just keep going. 3 ends the day. A 3, so we get 2 movement points at the end of the day. And I've got 4 extra, so I really have 6 movement. Extra water really doesn't do us anything in this game. So I really have 6 movement points that I can use to try to get to something here. Perhaps maybe like another rabbit to get up to 20 points for rabbits. Actually, that might not actually be that's actually not a bad play at all. And I can go through that water to get there too. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just use 2 water to get there. And I gain a water for going through the water space. So just 2 lakes of water I didn't get to. Oh wells. Okay. Oh, and sorry. And I went to the rabbit. Wait, why did I go to the rabbit? I wanted to go to a bird. Can I get to a bird? Yeah, I should have went down instead to get to the bird. Never mind. I wanted to go this way, so I got the 2 movements. I went 1, 2, 3, through the water for 5. That's what I wanted to do. So then I used 3 waters, got a water, and I went and I visited the bird. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And you ended up at another campsite. Lucky. I didn't end up at a campsite, but at least I got to 3 out of the 4 campsites for my days. So that is where my journey ends. I will score 3 points per pair of things that I went to, that I visited. So I visited bear, rabbit, bird. I don't think I visited. Nope, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I think I only get 3 points. I got 2 birds. I only got 1 pair. Dang. 1 mountain. Yeah, 1 binocular. Yep, no, I only get 3 points. I only get 3 points for this. Dang. And that is the end of the game. So now we start tallying up is being dead. So I get 4 points for bears. I get 4 points for rabbits, and I get 20 points for birds. And I get, oh my gosh, what is this? 26, 35, 40, 46 points for my mountains. For that is a total of 66, 70, 74 points for that first little bit. So 74. This region, I didn't get any bonus points for binoculars. I didn't get any bonus points for compasses. I get 5 points for those triangular regions. So I get 5 points there. So that's a running total of 70. It's a running total of 79 points. For my journaling, I get 10 and 9. That is another 9. That's another 19 points. So 20 would get me to 99. So I am at 98 points total. And then finally I get 2 points for every lake, plus 10 if I didn't get to all of them, but I did get 2. What did I get to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the lakes for 14 points. So add on 2 for 100. So 112 points is my final score. Whoa boy. Don't know exactly what happened there again. But 112. How'd you do, Chris? How'd you do? If you're playing along. 110. Really? I was thinking that I wasn't playing a really strong game this time around, but whoo, that's a very close game. And with that added restriction of having to visit the different, like in a solo game, which I'm playing the solo game. We could have been playing multiplayer, but playing as a solo game, really limiting yourself to have to try to having to try to get to the different campsites. That's an extra added challenge that is really, really thing. And look at this, for the one of the men himself, Mathew Dunstan, one of the designers, along with Rory Muldoon, has come in. Says, "Hi, thanks for covering the game. Sorry for only catching the stream now." No problem, Mathew. You're in a different part of the world than we are. And so, yeah, that was a very, very close game. Indeed. Thank you, Chris, for playing. Thank you, Chris, for playing along. And hopefully anybody else that has been paying attention to and watching this kind of got a feeling for how the thing is. I've thought it was Australia. So it's just the afternoon where it's just starting to get late evening here in good old Saskatchewan, Canada. But man, so hopefully if you have some background in these Postmark games, lots of familiarity with the roll of the dice, and that gives you kind of like your movement. But man, oh man, I was very AP prone in this one. There were so many decision points that I had to make and which way I needed to go and where was I gonna actually. But man, oh man, so like in this case, I focused on birds mostly to get some of my points. I really could have got another binocular there to take maybe another picture. I think did I have an opportunity later in the game? No, the path that I took really didn't get me to another binocular. Nope, I didn't think so. You didn't get that one extra. Was that one extra bunny gonna that one extra bunny probably would have bumped you to some extra big points there, Chris? I think so. Yeah, there we go. Waypoints. Oh, you would have got an extra 5. Yep. That's the way that it goes. So waypoints. I'm going to switch my screen over here so I can look at it. I'm going to start looking at the screen over here. Waypoints. Really neat game. I was introduced to Postmark games style here with Aquamarine last year. This one, again, I'm going to reiterate what a lot of people say. This was an insta-back for me as well. At $7 Canadian, you really, really can't go wrong for the amount of gameplay that provided us, and for the amount of shelf space that it's going to take up, which is like none, and for the amount of game that was actually in here, knocking it out of the park again. Knocking it out of the park. Love it. I think a lot of people are going to be really happy with this one. And it's just enough. There's just enough here that sets it apart from Voyages and Aquamarine. You have room to play all of them. You have room to play them. So, and we're going to get more maps again, indeed. I'm wondering if Mathew is still in the chat here. Are we going to get maybe some sort of challenges? I mentioned in my Aquamarine review last year, I believe it was, that if you had to add a little, just thinking like what was it? Not challenges, but kind of like achievements. Can you get to all of the water spaces in a? Can you max out your rabbits this round? Can you max out your bears this round? Can you, I don't know, I have no idea. Score 50 points on mountains. I don't know, something along those lines. I have anything, yeah. We are planning to do achievements, more reveal later. I'm getting ahead of the game here again, because of course it's only day 1 as of this stream for the campaign, with I think 11 more days, 11 more days to go, and it's a roaring success. I have to bring it up here. I'm going to just click on over to my internet browser here, pull up the Kickstarter campaign, because I believe that this thing is taking off. Where is it here? And we just go this thing, waypoints, and it's right there. We are currently sitting at 2,273 backers. And that is almost 16,000 Canadian dollary dues at five American dollars a pop, at $6-7. Man, congratulations to the team at Postmark Games, Mathew and Rory. You've hit a thing, something in the hobby that I think people are really kind of clamoring to. Really blown. He says right here, he's blown away by the support. especially so quickly. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I think you've hit a piece of the hobby here that a lot of people are really enjoying, and especially at a good price point. A lot of game at a good price point, and it's not taking up room on our shelves. That's checking off a lot of boxes for a lot of people. 2,200 plus at this moment. So, thank you. Thank you for designing such wonderful, wonderful little pieces of enjoyment for us. And I wish the best of luck. I hope we get a lot more. I can't wait to see where the campaign is going over the next few days. And Dana, you hit it on the head. And we don't have to wait for it to ship. which is fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to keep the stream a little bit shorter than I usually do tonight. Unless if people want to just stick around, if you want to stick around and chat for a little bit. If you're in the chat here, have you purchased all? Are you going on all three? Have you purchased Voyages in Aquamarine before? And are you planning on doing Waypoints? Answer here is a yes, and a yes from me. And I can't wait to play a lot more of it. I'm going to try to get a better program next time around. This one was just jumping all over the place on anything. And thanks for playing along, Chris. If we would have had to, if I would have managed to, get it done ahead of time and everything, we could probably stream together and would have actually been able to chit chat at the same time. But hey, it's one of those games where we can play multiple times. And you know what? Hey, here's an idea. Community night. Once all the files get released to all the people out there, maybe after the stream, we'll have Waypoints community night. We can have an Aquamarine community night. We'll just bring you over to the Express. Absolutely. We'll do community night on Postmark games, Voyages, Aquamarine. Maybe we'll do all three in one night. That would actually be a thing. Right. And if you are not part of the Tabletop Express's Discord channel, I have my own space in the Tabletop Express Discord channel. I should post a link to that after this video is done in the description of this video. And go ahead and join the Tabletop Express's Discord channel. It's a very lovely community, very welcoming, very awesome folks there. Chris, Ryan, Anthony, whole bunch of other people that are regular commenters there. Squirrel. Just trying to think about who all the others. Brian Chandler is always very active on there. So many different people. Very welcoming, very lovely. And we're just talking games day in and day out. Dan Nixon is also part of that Discord channel as well. He's always active. Definitely just join in. I'm posting lots of my stuff on there. I said I do have my own channel in the server. I still don't know my Discord lingo type thing, where I've been posting a lot of my content. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you for joining me once again this evening. And if you've made it this far, I'm being humble. If you've made it this far, make sure that you put a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Subscriptions are free, really help us out. Hit the notification bell. I am planning on going live every Tuesday evening, and soon, I don't know when, summer vacation's coming up here, so maybe I might have a little bit more time. But soon I'll probably get back into my regular groove of Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I do have some lovely, lovely things planned. Like next week, I'm going to be starting my Legacy of You campaign, which I am going to stream game number 1, and then I'm going to record my other gameplays and release them on the channel every now and then. So thank you, Mathew, for joining us tonight. And he says has to head off, but thanks again for streaming the game. Have a nice night, everyone. You too, sir. Thank you for bringing us a great game tonight. And yes, 2 times the Rau. Maybe. Some days. Someday I'll be able to get it done. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Ryan of Mista Rau's Gaming. Thank you for joining along with me whenever you've watched this. And you have yourselves a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever in the world you are. Cheers, everybody. Good night. and I don't know how to do this. There it is. Bye.